And yes, independence is good. I'm very independent. But on the flip side, following Jesus by yourself is hard. But doing it in community is so much better. Like even Jesus did life in community.
Welcome to the Everyday Faith Podcast, where we believe you can live out your faith every day by starting with belief, embracing your mission, committing to obedience, and pursuing community. I'm Dan.
And I'm Jess. Thanks for joining us today for part 2 of our conversation with Kelsey Reynolds. I look like I'm laughing. If you're watching our video, I kind of look like I'm coming off of laughter, and it's because I am. It's been a great time so far. Kelsey is a University of Northwestern St. Paul alum. She's been a students pastor at Eaglebrook Church for a couple of years. It's one of the biggest churches, great church we went to for quite a while. Mm-hmm. Anyway, it's been a super fun time already with Kelsey. She's seriously so good at just loving other people where they're at, and I think you'll get that feel from her today. So looking forward to continuing our conversation. Kelsey, thanks for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me. Part 2.
All right. Last time we talked quite a bit about obedience, and today we wanted to shift a little bit and talk about our fourth pillar, 1, 2, 3, 4, our fourth pillar of pursue community. And even last time one of the stories you shared, community was really pivotal, that your friends were willing to bring up a hard conversation like, hey, Kelsey, you've been going this way, and we think that you should be going this way. Will you just give us a 30-second recap of that?
Yeah, my roommate from college, she was basically like, hey, so can I just say, you have been doing nursing, but you're not as excited about that as you are about ministry. So you should think about that. And now I work in ministry. So thanks, Lizzie. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
And really it took someone saying to you, confronting you, bringing it up to you. And of course, God gave you lots of little nudges along the way, but it's important to have those people in your life that are not afraid to have hard conversations.
Yeah. Super important. And that's what I get to be a part of with my teams, which is super special too. And building those communities on Wednesdays for students, but even for myself, community and making sure that I also have community in place.
What are ways that you build community or you pursue community?
Yeah, I'll say being a young adult is hard, and trying to navigate community is a layered thing, that's for sure. But when I graduated college, it's like when you leave college and you're just around people all the time.
Yeah, right.
Then you're like, wait, who do I actually hang out with? So that was a season of navigating what that actually looked like, especially as people moved and seasons changed. And so I was really, really grateful when I started my job at Eaglebrook, and I started off as a ministry associate, which is onboarding to become a pastor, which is a wonderful program that we have. But there was some other ladies at Eaglebrook who were starting up a Bible study, and it was for young adult females who work in ministry. Super niche and unique. But they invited me in, and they were like, hey, you're new. You want to be a part of this with us? And that was God's greatest gift leaving college, was that group of ladies. And we worked in different jobs across Eaglebrook and different campuses. And just to be able to talk about the layers of working in ministry, but being able to do it in community, knowing that I wasn't alone. I had so many moments that I would show up and feeling alone in my job or what I was doing, and knowing I could share what was actually happening. There was one night that we all were just going through it, and we're like, all right, scrap what we're talking about. We need to make sure everyone's doing okay. And so to have the space to process life was so important. And I feel there's this in young adults where I have to do it by myself. I have to do things by myself. I have to be independent. And yes, independence is good. I'm very independent. But on the flip side, following Jesus by yourself is hard. But doing it in community is so much better. Even Jesus did life in community.
Right.
And so having those people that you can go to with everything is so important. And I've had a lot of conversations because we had that group, but there was always things that it's like, I don't think I can fully share about a certain thing. And so having safe people, I have my safe people in my life that I know I can go to and be like, here it all is. And so community like has been unique in my situation, just working in a church and knowing I can't share everything with everybody about my job. And like I'd be at a campus with a ton of young adults and I'm like, I feel like I can't even tell you what's going on because this is your church and I have to protect you. Right. But that's what I tell young adults, in no matter like what stage they're in, like they need to find who their community is. But I think it's getting harder and harder to find, especially for that age. So yeah, community has been pivotal for me, and they have walked a lot of life with me, that specific group. And I'm super grateful for it.
It's important to find that. It's important to find those people who have some sort of similarity with where you are in life and where you're going.
Yeah.
I think sometimes we almost opt to be in community with people that it's comfortable to be in community with. And there's a difference between what's comfortable. Sometimes there's a difference between what's comfortable and what we prefer versus what we actually need and what God is calling us into. I was just having that conversation with someone the other day that it's like, you know what if God actually wants you to get out of your comfort zone? And step into something
herself.
that's
She was talking to herself.
also true. Also true. Right though? I mean, there's some.
The devil loves to isolate.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, sure.
What a great tool. And then one of the best tools he has is a cell phone.
Well.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why we have pursue community, because nobody initiates. You know what I'm talking about? Does anyone, right? And so it's like someone has to let it be us who pursue and initiate community, because otherwise, who else is really doing it nowadays?
Yeah, it's so good. And like even the thing that I've learned over the past year is I hate getting feedback, which is so funny because in my job, it's a high feedback job. But like, yeah, as I've navigated working and going through things, my main people that I process life with are my parents. But I also like, and I'm so grateful. They have so much wisdom, especially my dad who worked in a church, right? But also having those other friends who won't be necessarily completely biased towards me. And like I had a moment last year where I sat down with a friend, maybe mentor type, big sister person in my life.
Yeah.
And I told her all these things, and she said, I see, like she basically said, like, I see you. I see where you're coming from. I think that your feelings are valid. And then she called me to hire. Like she said, she gave me a different perspective that I wouldn't have even thought of. And I was like, you're right. I need to think about that and like humble myself a little bit and know that I'm not right all the time. And actually take that feedback and not take it personally, but think about it, pray about it, and see, like, do I move forward or what do I do now?
I'd love to learn more. This has been a hot topic in our house. What does humility mean to you? And maybe if you had a story around it.
Yeah. Humility means a lot. I'm trying to think of a story that comes to mind with that. I've had to have a lot of humbling moments, I'd say, in the past year. And I can't get into just a ton of details, but yeah, I think a lot of the moments have been humbling by God. And just in my morning time, in the way that he's reminded me of like certain things through different Bible stories and like, hey, how would you feel about this if this didn't happen? Like, would you be mad? And I was like, you just humbled me, God. I got it. Like, I need to take a step back and realize that I'm not all that. Don't know everything. Yeah. And that's tough. It's like a teetering. I feel like sometimes a lot of people are like, you're so confident and you're so like, you know a lot or whatever. But sometimes I feel like the confidence and whatever can be like, there's also insecurity, and then there's humility, and then there's so much that plays into that depending on the day, and the situation, that it's complicated. But even having to come back to the posture of like, God is in control. I'm not in control. he knows best. I don't. And having to come back to that every single time.
It reminds me of what you said in part 2, right? Humility is a lot of this too.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
Like
Part 1.
good and bad, everything in between. It's a lot of that.
Yeah.
Well, I have a humbling story. I was driving at my parents' cabin, and we have a side-by-side, and a dog ran in front of the side-by-side, so I had to smash the brakes. Well, apparently one of my daughters wasn't buckled, so she flies over, hits her face on the dashboard, and starts pouring blood. So the other one is a little frantic too, and I'm just like, all right, we got to get back home before there's like blood everywhere. You know, and the oldest one was just like, Daddy, I have an idea. I was like, there's no helpful idea that you have right now. Like, we need to get going, like, get in, sit down. So we're driving fast. She's like, Daddy, I have an idea. And I'm like, no, you don't. You don't have an idea. It's not helpful. I'm like holding my daughter who's screaming. She's like, Daddy, I have an idea. I was like, oh, my, what's the brilliant idea that you have? You know, because I'm so mature. And she goes, we should pray for her. And I was like, okay, it's a good idea.
Wow.
I like, it never crossed my mind. And it was such a fun thing because I feel like when you're humble, you are able to receive even from, at that time, a 4-year-old.
Yeah.
You're able to receive. And it's so fun because that's, you know, the posture of being open and receiving from whoever, I think is a big test of humility. Yeah. And I was not humble in that moment, and I was closed off. And the Lord reminded me of even sometimes 4-year-olds who are a little frantic have great ideas. And then the other one started calming down as she was praying for her. So it's just a great moment of how wrong I was.
Interesting.
I got lots of those.
First time you're hearing this one, Jess?
No, I vaguely remember it. But truth be told, what I was thinking about was like, oh, yeah, she's calming down. So her heart rate's going to calm down. So the bleeding's going to slow down.
Oh, there you go.
Brilliant.
See, I didn't think of any of that.
Genius.
So brilliant. That girl. No, that's good. One of the things, if I can be honest, one of my challenges with community, I'm just thinking about like when you go to a church, right? Personally, we are trying to find a new church because we are newer to the area and still working on finding a church. And but one of the things that, you know, you're looking for when you step into a church is a welcoming community of people. And and it's really sad when you walk into a church and you're looking, you know, like, hey, I'm lost and interested in meeting people, and you don't receive that. And, you know, I can only imagine how it is for people who aren't already in relationship with the Lord, or, you know, coming in hard circumstances. They've never been to church. And so but then too, of course, it's on us to also maybe sometimes do a little bit of work to receive community and pursue it, if you will. Yeah. But I don't know. And it's also a reminder for me as someone who, you know, I want to be a leader, right? In as much as I can. So it's like I get to be a leader and invite people into my community, even if I have what feels like an established community. Yeah. We need to be open to inviting other people into that. I don't know. I guess I'm just kind of thinking out loud about community and some of the important aspects of it. Any other thoughts?
Oh, that we have to initiate. All right, everyone listening, including myself.
We tell them.
No one initiates. And so we need to initiate and pursue community, because that is how God designed us to be in relationship. The most important thing to God is what, Jess?
That you have a loving relationship with him.
They have a loving relationship with him, right? And he's all about relationships. So this is mostly Jess and I talking to each other of pursuing community, because we're in a new community and learning how to do it from scratch is really fun. I enjoy
it's hard.
It. Yeah.
What do you see?
I just feel like one thing that I have been encouraging, I'm even thinking through the lens of my job and what I do, but like Wednesday nights, I have been encouraging my team. One of our pastors at our church has given us the challenge as student pastors to look for the lonely. And so I passed that on to my small group leaders.
I like that.
And I said, you're going to get sick of me saying it this year, but look for the lonely, look for the lonely, look for the lonely, because students feel awkward being here. And just like any person going to church, right? And the first night, one of our small group leaders looked for the lonely, and she found a student who came in, and she's like, I just want to try something new. And I've never stepped foot in this church a day in my life. And that small group leader found her, cared for her, asked me if that student could be a part of her small group that night. And that student made a decision to follow Jesus that night. And then they invited another friend to come to church the week after that. It's like, that's amazing. The importance of looking for that lonely, that one person who needs to be seen. Yeah. And I'm in the same boat as you guys. I moved down to Apple Valley, and community looks completely different for me now. I moved down here and I'm away. My family is about an hour and a half north of here, and my community is North Metro, not South Metro. And so that has been a tough thing for me too, is what does that look like? Who are my people, and seasons of life and my job and all the layered things involved. So I feel you guys on that. It's tricky.
And whether it's in the walls of a church that we're looking for the lonely, is that what it is? Looking for the lonely?
Look for the lonely.
Yeah, whether that's in the walls of a church or anywhere else in life, it's unless people know that you care about them and you see them, they're not going to care what you have to say. And so unless you're going to show interest in who they are and, their story, they don't, you can live your life nicely, but it's that sometimes that's not good enough. Just living, I don't know, living life well, right?
Yeah, it's not intentional at all. One thing I like to do is whenever I go into a store, especially because I get bored in my mind pretty easy, is just asking God, Lord, is there anyone we should talk to, smile at, wave, or give a hug to? And just to see all the people that he brings up. Yeah. And honestly, it's every time there's somebody that just sticks out. And I think it's because we've been doing it for a long time, but it's really fun. And then I was just with our kids. We were going to dinner one night, and there was a guy that stuck out to me. And so I brought my daughter over, and we just encouraged this guy. And it was so cool to see her just kind of lighten up talking to a stranger with her dad. And just encouraging the guy, letting him know that the Lord just loves him, and just asking God what he wants to speak to this guy. So it's so fun to pursue community. There's so many different ways to do it. And from your story, kudos to the girl who didn't know what to do, but just came to church, right?
I know, right?
It's if you're feeling isolated or alone, go to church or go to a community or a friend or somebody you know. Pursue something, because it doesn't get any better, right? Yeah. And if you're in community, make sure that you have that posture of open arms, because there is lonely people. There are people that are looking or seeking or needing that community, because we are built for relationship.
100%. So good.
Hey, I have something.
Oh, go.
We're changing subject here.
Well,
another hot take from our house is, and we just had this at Sunday at church we're checking out, Hope You See. God is a God who is not serious, or I shouldn't say that, not always serious or stubborn or, mean or mad. He is like a God that has so much fun, right? And Kelsey, I feel like you live that out very well. So
thank you.
What do you think? What have you experienced about the fun, exciting, happy side of God versus what, I don't know, most of us and maybe me imagine?
Or even, honestly, just
big and powerful.
What culture and people who don't really understand, obviously, the Lord, there's just what they think. They think he's all about rules and, obeying everything, and that makes everything boring and stuffy. But okay, those of us who've been walking with the Lord, we know and we've experienced the opposite. Anyway, hopefully that helps paint the picture a little more.
Oh, yeah. It's so funny. I had this moment the other day where I was thinking of the 5 love languages, and I was thinking about them. I was quality time, all these things. And I was can fun be one of them? Can we create this to be a thing? Because I think that's mine. Because all I want to do, like I said earlier, is be on jet skis, be on lakes, and do fun things like concerts and all the traveling of the world. But yeah, that has been a fun thing. I grew up and I thought that God was just a God of rules, like kind of like what you were saying. And I think that was a big thing that turned me off to my faith or doing something about my faith. I was sharing with my dad recently, like we grew up in a very, very small Baptist church for a while before he like stepped into an executive pastor role at a church. And that, I don't know, something about, I was like, it's very traditional and there's nothing wrong with traditional. But I remember when I stepped into Eagle Brook, I was like, whoa, we can have fun at church? Like, this is crazy. And so having that shift of mindset and even on that first Wednesday when he came back, I'm like, what a joy it is that we can create a space where students can come and jump up and down and praise Jesus in that kind of way. Like,
come on.
We were singing, I don't even remember. I think it was I Thank God. And they were jumping up and down.
That's so good.
And they were just singing I Thank God. And I'm like, on a day like today, our students are out here jumping up and down with joy, singing I Thank God. And like, what an honor and privilege it is to create a space where they can do that and have fun. And like, church can be fun. It's crazy. Like I had a student, I was meeting with a high schooler this week, and she's like, I remember coming here the first time because she got invited. She came last year, and now she's going to serve with some of our middle schoolers. But she's like, I came, and she's like, this is church? And so like, obviously within the confines of church, like, it can be fun. Like God loves that and joy like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I am a big advocate for joy and happiness and fun, and being lighthearted. And obviously there's a moment like, things need to be serious. You need to, I don't know, dial in, as the kids would say, lock in.
There's a balance or something.
There's a balance, but also being able to recognize that we have a God of all emotions. And like, it's something I've experienced this year that I haven't really experienced my whole life. And maybe it's just because I've gotten older. But when I brought gratitude before God, I've never gotten like emotional before, especially when I'm on the other side of something hard. I'm kind of like, okay, it's done. Thanks, God. But over the past year, especially when challenging circumstances come, like I have been overcome by joy and gratitude in a very different way. Like a depth of joy of like, thank you, God. Like you are so good and so powerful and no better than me. And you blow our expectations out of the water. And so, I'm all for fun. I'm all for joy and happiness. We need more of it.
You know what?
Amen.
I mean, it just I think about how God sees us as his children. And, we've got the 4 kiddos that are 5 and under, and it is a heck of a time. But when I allow myself to lighten up a little bit and laugh at something rather than like be frustrated about it, literally just happened tonight. The baby's sleeping in the next room over, and we go to get pajamas out of the dryer, and I bend over to like, I don't know, put the clothes hamper down or something, the laundry basket, and the 5-year-old's like with all of her might trying to pry the door open, and she pops it open. I'm bent over and it goes wham, right in the head, and like part of me was like, what the heck? And the other part of me was like, that is so funny. I just started laughing, and she started laughing, and I just think about those moments where it's like when we are enjoying our lives, and just honoring God in the midst of it. Man, he's got to love that. That's just some of the happiest moments as a mom, and as a family, is like when we get to see our kids just having fun and loving each other. And what does that say about what we should do as followers of Christ? Like, let's have fun and love each other. This, as you were talking, this verse came to mind, and it just happens to be one of our kind of key verses for community and pursue community. It's Acts 2:46-47. It says, they worshiped together at the temple each day, met in homes for the Lord's Supper, and shared their meals with great joy and generosity, all the while praising God and enjoying the goodwill of all the people. And each day the Lord added to their fellowship those who were being saved. And so the more I think about it, what better way to you invite people into the kingdom than to be that joyful presence in the world around us. And guess what? Community is going to naturally grow because of it.
Yeah. That's
And
so
the
good.
kingdom.
That's such a good word. Yeah.
Yeah. And just so we're fully transparent, we are working on that too, but it's not something we have mastered at all.
Very much.
Yeah. But we're grateful that God is patient. Well, anything as we wrap up part 2, Kelsey, anything you would like to add or share?
Yeah, just encouraging people. Ephesians 3:20 is my favorite verse of all time. It's to the God who is able to do immeasurably more than we ask or imagine, according to his power that is at work within us. And I love talking about that verse and encouraging people in the idea, like, don't put God in a box, and he can do immeasurably more than you can ask or imagine. Maybe that's in community. Maybe that's in your life circumstance, but like really lean into him and trust that he can do more than what you can ask or imagine, and trust that. Because sometimes I can tell myself that, but I'm like, I have to actually trust that. So that's my encouragement. That's my final thought.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, of course. I had a blast.
Thank you for listening to this conversation from the Everyday Faith Podcast. Our goal is to inspire everyday faith conversations. Please join us by rating and reviewing wherever you're listening, and most importantly, by sharing with a friend. For more resources like this, visit our website, askaboutmyfaith.com. God bless you as you live out your faith in your everyday rhythms of life.